My dog was the only one who stayed when everything else slowly fell apart. You didn't say anything, you didn't cry, you sat down on the floor, back against the couch, staring at nothing in particular. And then, without a sound, your dog walked over, pressed their body against yours, and just stayed there. You didn't ask for it. You didn't call them over. They just knew. And in that moment, something in your chest loosened. Not fixed, not solved, just loosened. If you've ever had a day where the only thing that made you genuinely smile was your dog, not a text, not a video, not even a person, this is for you. And before you think that means something is wrong with you, stay with me, because what's actually happening is far more fascinating than you might expect. We are living through something quietly devastating. According to the United States Surgeon General, we are in a loneliness epidemic. Nearly 1 in 4 adults report feeling lonely, not occasionally, not just on hard nights, but as a persistent background condition of their daily life. Think about that. Millions of people surrounded by coworkers, followers, notifications, group chats, and still feeling profoundly unseen. Modern life gave us connection at scale and depth at almost none. Social media shows you hundreds of faces and almost no one asks how you actually are. You can go entire weeks being productive, responsive, present, and still feel like nobody really knows what's happening inside you. That invisible distance is real, and your nervous system feels it, even when you can't name it. So when your dog looks at you, really looks at you, something shifts. And that shift is not sentimental, it's biological. Here's the idea that changes everything. Your dog doesn't understand your story. They don't know about the meeting that went wrong, the friendship that cooled, the anxiety that woke you up at 3 in the morning. They have no idea about the deadline or the argument or the grief you've been carrying for 6 months without telling anyone. But they understand your state. There's a difference, and that difference is everything. Your dog doesn't process your narrative. They process your breathing, your posture, the way you moved when you walked through the door, the slight change in your voice, even when you said, "Hey, buddy," as cheerfully as you could manage. They read what your body is saying before your mind has finished translating it. In 2015, researchers at Azabu University in Japan, led by Dr. Miho Nagasawa, conducted a study that quietly rewrote how scientists understand the human-animal bond. They observed approximately 30 dog-owner pairs during 30 minutes of natural interaction. Before and after, they collected urine samples from both the humans and the dogs and measured oxytocin, often called the love hormone, the same bonding chemical released between a mother and her newborn child. What they found was striking. When dogs and humans made prolonged eye contact, oxytocin levels rose in both of them, not just the human. The dog's brain was responding too. They were bonding in real time, through a gaze, through presence alone. And when they ran the same study with wolves raised by humans, nothing. No oxytocin loop. No response. This means dogs didn't just adapt to live alongside humans, they evolved to connect with us. That gaze your dog gives you, soft, steady, unhurried, is not just loyalty, it's biology. It's thousands of years of evolution producing a creature whose nervous system is genuinely wired to bond with yours. But here's the part nobody tells you. Your body changes before your mind understands it. Long before you consciously recognize that you're stressed, anxious, or close to breaking, your physiology has already shifted: tighter muscles, shallower breathing, elevated cortisol, and your dog reads that instantly. Not because they're magical, because they're paying attention in a way most humans simply aren't trained to do. This is what psychologists call non-verbal intelligence. Dogs don't communicate through language, so they became extraordinarily fluent in everything else: tone, movement, rhythm of breath, the weight of silence. Humans, trained for centuries to prioritize words, often miss these signals entirely. Dogs never do. What happens inside you when your dog is near draws on something called co-regulation, a psychological process where one nervous system helps calm another. When a calm, grounded presence enters your space, your own system begins to mirror it. This isn't metaphor. This is your autonomic nervous system responding to environmental safety cues. A dog's steady, warm presence signals, nothing is chasing us. We are not in danger. You can exhale. Your cortisol begins to drop. Your heart rate slows. The tight, vigilant part of your brain, the part that has been managing everything, starts to release its grip. Your body begins to shift from survival mode to something that feels a little more like safety. And when was the last time a human did that for you simply by being in the room? Your dog does 3 things when you're struggling. They notice, they move closer, and they stay. They don't ask questions. They don't offer solutions. They don't look at you with that particular expression that means they're thinking about what to say next. They don't need your pain to make sense before they respond to it. They simply observe that something in you is different, and they close the distance. Think about how rare that is. Most human comfort comes with language, and language comes with expectations. Someone asks what's wrong, and you feel obligated to explain, to summarize, to make your pain legible. Sometimes that helps. Often, it adds a layer of effort to an already exhausting moment. You have to translate your inner world into words, watch for their reaction, calibrate how much is too much, reassure them that you're okay even when you're not. Your dog asks for none of that. You don't have to explain your pain to deserve comfort. There is something psychologically profound about being seen without having to perform being seen. It removes a layer of self-consciousness that most of us carry constantly. And in that removal, something genuine can finally breathe. If you pay attention, you'll notice a pattern. On the days when everything feels heavy, when you come home quieter, move slower, sit in the dark a little longer, your dog stays closer. They don't wander off. They position themselves near you with a kind of quiet constancy that feels almost deliberate. On easier days when you're lighter, they're more independent. They follow their own curiosity. They nap across the room. That's not coincidence. That's attunement. And here is something worth sitting with. If your dog who has done this reliably, consistently, without exception suddenly stops, pay attention. Dogs who are emotionally connected to their owners can shift their behavior when something changes in themselves. A dog who stops seeking you out, who seems distant or withdrawn, may be communicating something about their health, about their own emotional state. The attunement runs both ways. There is one more thing that makes this bond so deeply meaningful, and it lives in the concept of emotional contagion. Emotions are not entirely internal. They pass between bodies. They move through presence, through breath, through proximity. When you sit with your dog and they are calm, some of that calm travels to you not because you decided to feel it, but because your nervous system absorbed it. Your dog is, in this sense, an anchor. Not because they hold you down, but because they hold you here, in this room, in this body, in this moment. When anxiety pulls your mind forward into everything that could go wrong, a dog draws you back, their warmth against your leg, the soft rhythm of their breathing, the simple reality of a creature who needs nothing from you right now except your presence. That's an extraordinary gift. And you don't have to earn it. So if your dog is your only reason to smile on some days, if their name is the first thing that comes to mind when someone asks what makes you happy that isn't sad, that isn't broken, that is a very human response to a world that often moves too fast, asks too much, and gives too little of what we actually need. You found something that makes you feel safe, something that doesn't judge, doesn't withdraw, doesn't misunderstand, something that evolved literally, biologically, over thousands of years to be in relationship with you. Your dog doesn't need to understand your story to understand you. And sometimes, the ones who understand you most are the ones who never say a word.